Welcome to this episode of the CompTIA Tech Plus Prepcast by BareMetalCyber.com. Let's begin. Safe browsing refers to a set of user habits, configurations, and security tools that reduce risks when interacting with Internet-connected applications. It focuses on preventing the compromise of user credentials, personal data, and systems through malicious websites or unsafe online behaviors. The CompTIA Tech Plus exam includes objectives on browser safety, identifying and avoiding web-based threats, understanding how to handle security certificates, and reducing user-driven risks. Mastering these skills is essential for both individual protection and enterprise security compliance. Web browsers serve as the primary interface for accessing cloud applications, online services, and external communications. If a browser is misconfigured or used carelessly, it can introduce vulnerabilities that expose sensitive information or open paths for attack. Securing browser settings is equally important for single users and in centrally managed IT environments. Ensuring a hardened browser configuration reduces exposure to exploitation and data leaks. Secure websites use Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure to encrypt communications between the browser and the web server. This prevents unauthorized parties from intercepting or reading transmitted data. Browsers indicate a secure connection with the HTTPS prefix in the address bar and a padlock icon. Recognizing these indicators ensures that users connect only to sites that protect information in transit. Secure Sockets Layer and Transport Layer security certificates verify the authenticity of a website and enable encrypted communication. Issued by trusted certificate authorities, they contain domain-binding details and expiration dates. Browsers validate these certificates and provide warnings if one is expired, mismatched, or issued by an untrusted authority. Understanding certificate validation is a core browser security skill. Invalid or suspicious certificates trigger browser alerts that may block or limit access until acknowledged. Users should avoid bypassing these warnings, particularly on public networks or shared systems. Invalid certificates can signal risks such as man-in-the-middle attacks, expired site credentials, or phishing attempts designed to mimic legitimate services. Exercising caution when confronted with certificate errors prevents accidental disclosure of sensitive data. Phishing sites are designed to mimic trusted web pages to steal login information, financial details, or other sensitive data. They are often reached through deceptive links sent via email, instant messages, or embedded in compromised legitimate sites. Users should verify web addresses, avoid providing credentials on unfamiliar pages, and report suspected phishing attempts to security teams to prevent further impact. Some malicious websites deploy pop-up windows to present fake security warnings or urgent prompts. These may claim that the system is infected or offer fraudulent technical support services. Such messages are designed to push users into downloading harmful software or providing personal information. Blocking pop-ups by default and enabling them only for trusted domains is a key safe browsing measure. Typo squatting exploits typing mistakes in website addresses by registering domains similar to popular sites. Fraudulent domains often use subtle changes, such as altered characters or different extensions, to trick users. Double-checking the spelling of URLs, confirming domain suffixes, and verifying secure connection status help prevent this form of deception from succeeding. Browsers include privacy settings that control how data such as cookies, browsing history, and tracking information is stored or shared. Limiting third-party cookies helps reduce unwanted tracking and advertising profiling. Adjusting privacy preferences ensures that personal information is not collected or exposed without consent. Browser extensions can enhance functionality but also introduce security risks if they are poorly coded or malicious. Extensions should only be installed from official marketplaces or trusted developers. In managed environments, IT teams can restrict extension installations through policy controls, reducing the chance of unauthorized or unsafe add-ons. Security settings within browsers allow control over permissions for hardware features such as cameras, microphones, and location services. Access should be granted only to sites that require it for core functionality. Restricting these permissions reduces the risk of unnecessary data sharing and prevents abuse by malicious sites. Web filtering tools help block access to websites known for malicious activity, high risk, or policy violations. Filtering can be implemented in the browser itself, at the network perimeter, or as part of endpoint security software. Site reputation services check destinations against threat intelligence lists to provide real-time protection against unsafe browsing. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Modern websites often include embedded scripts, advertisements, and third-party services that can create security vulnerabilities. Disabling JavaScript or blocking external content reduces potential attack vectors but may affect site functionality. Privacy-focused browser plugins allow users to control which scripts run, providing a balance between usability and security. Limiting unnecessary content execution reduces the risk of drive-by downloads and malicious code injection. When using public or shared computers, users should avoid logging into personal accounts or entering sensitive information. Public systems can be configured to automatically clear browsing sessions, cookies, and cache data after use. Always logging out of accounts and closing browser windows when finished prevents session hijacking and protects personal information from the next user. Password autofill features store login information in the browser and fill it in automatically on recognized sites. While convenient, stored passwords may be exposed if the browser is not secured by a master password or profile protection. IT policies often recommend disabling browser-based password storage in favor of dedicated password managers that provide stronger encryption and centralized management. Private browsing, sometimes called incognito mode, prevents the browser from saving history, form data, cookies, and temporary files. It is useful on shared devices or for troubleshooting login issues without cached data interference. However, it does not hide activity from Internet service providers or network monitoring systems, so it is not a replacement for other privacy tools. Sandboxing is a browser security technique that isolates each tab or process, preventing malicious code in one site from affecting others. If a web page crashes or becomes compromised, sandboxing allows the rest of the browser to function normally. Process isolation also limits the reach of any attack that occurs, containing it within the affected tab or window. Keeping browsers updated is critical for patching known vulnerabilities and improving defenses. Enabling automatic updates reduces the window of exposure to newly discovered threats. In enterprise settings, IT departments may manage browser updates centrally to ensure version consistency and prevent compatibility issues. Using outdated browser versions increases the risk of security compromise. Older browsers may lack support for current encryption protocols, fail to display secure sites correctly, or allow exploits that have already been fixed in newer releases. Regular updates help maintain compliance and ensure that the browser can connect securely to modern websites. Artificial intelligence is increasingly used to create convincing fake websites, messages, and multimedia content for phishing and impersonation. AI can also simulate trusted interfaces to collect credentials. Awareness training must now include the ability to recognize AI-generated fraud, as these attacks can be more realistic and harder to detect than traditional scams. At the same time, AI-enhanced security tools are being integrated into browsers and endpoint protection platforms. These tools analyze patterns, user behavior, and known threat data to block malicious activity in real time. While AI adds another defensive layer, human review remains important to verify alerts and adjust detection rules. Tracking scripts and device fingerprinting allow websites to monitor user activity across the Internet. Information such as browser type, operating system, installed fonts, and screen resolution can be used to identify and follow users. Anti-tracking browser extensions, virtual private networks, and privacy-oriented browsers help limit exposure to this kind of surveillance. Security plugins and privacy tools such as ad blockers, script blockers, and DNS-based filtering can prevent malicious code execution and limit unwanted content. These tools should be vetted for legitimacy and their permissions reviewed carefully. Avoiding overlapping or conflicting tools ensures performance and security remain stable. Safe download practices involve verifying file sources before saving them to a device. Users should avoid downloading from unverified websites or clicking download prompts from pop-ups. Reviewing file extensions and using security tools to scan downloads help detect disguised malware. Even with scanning tools, user caution is essential. Multi-factor authentication on websites adds an extra layer of security to online accounts. Combining a password with a secondary factor such as a one-time code or biometric verification significantly reduces the chance of unauthorized access. Enabling MFA on both business and personal accounts is one of the most effective protections against credential theft. Reporting suspicious sites, browser warnings, or phishing attempts to IT or a security team enables a faster response. Early reporting can prevent wider compromise and help with remediation. Many browsers include built-in reporting options, and organizations may provide dedicated channels for submitting incidents. For the CompTIA Tech Plus exam, be ready to identify browser security features, interpret certificate warnings, and explain phishing prevention measures. Expect questions about private browsing, sandboxing, tracking protection, and update management. Understanding how browser settings, security plugins, and safe habits work together will help you choose the best protection strategy in scenarios. Glossary terms to review include Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, Certificate Authority, Transport Layer Security, Incognito Mode, Sandboxing, Fingerprinting, Web Filter, Autofill, and AI Threat. Grouping these by browser feature, threat type, and control method improves recall. Reinforcing this knowledge with case-based examples will help in both exam and workplace contexts. In IT environments, browser security is part of onboarding, policy enforcement, and user education. Support teams assist with browser configuration, certificate issues, phishing reports, and safe browsing training. Maintaining secure browsers across all endpoints reduces the risk of data loss, account compromise, and malware infections, protecting both individuals and organizations. In the next episode, we will complete Domain 6 with wireless network security, covering service set identifier management, password protection, and encryption protocols. You will learn how to secure small wireless networks against common threats and configuration weaknesses. Thanks for listening. Please visit baremetalcyber.com for more cybersecurity information and education, including a new children's series. For more information on books and more, follow us at cyberauthor.me.